Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FV304. It's the Tier 6 British SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Cliff, and this one is under the command of a fingernail clipping, and it's a double header video. He's got the improved gun lane drive, rammer, and vents. Game on. Of course, what you see is 3 marks of excellence as well. Because, yes, well, a fingernail clipping is synonymous with the FV304. He loves this little Arty. He's very good at it. He's getting as close as he can to the enemy by going into this little pocket, this low ground, because you can actually shoot without being spotted by the enemy from down here. Yep, nicely positioned, close to the center. He can fire up onto the hill if the guys try to go up by the road. And because he's got such a fast reload, he should be able to do some serious damage to them. Standard reload, 12.94 seconds. He's got 10.12. Fires 1 round at the Staghound and decides to get a bit closer because there is an enemy tank up on the donut at the moment, a VK3002. And I believe there's a Staghound up there as well on the hill. Okay, there's the VK, and he gets a hit with the first shot on that guy. Not the same VK up on the donut, actually. And I think he's now going to have a go at that guy to stop him getting any closer. Of course, that guy's tried to stop any of our guys from going up to the center. Rounds out. Nice hit. Okay, let's mark the target. And rounds out. Yes, direct hit. Now you can see here, he's actually holding down his right-hand mouse button whilst on the target. So he's looking around, even though the shells are directly hitting that VK. That's 2 direct hits, blind hits that he's had on the VK so far. And the next one could kill the guy. No, he actually managed to get his vehicle moving, though, in time. Okay, we're lining up another shot. You can see he's actually aiming down into the dip, but the shell hits the VK on the way down. And he's definitely a one-shot now. There's no doubt about that. So if he gets the next one on target, and he does, he gets him. So he's got his first kill in this game. Okay, we're looking up to the center, but we've got no tanks up there at the moment. None at all. We're actually relying on a T-3485M, who's actually moved down to the donut to try and get rid of tanks there. But the good news is that the hill is actually under attack at the moment with an event, and you can see the red smoke there. And that means that those tanks are actually vulnerable to the fire as the bomber comes in. Okay, M4A376 whack, and that's a direct hit. So he's guessing that that guy's still in that area. And more enemy tanks have made their way up into the hill. We've lost our T-3485M to another one on the enemy team. So we're now going to try and get shots on him. And yes, I think we tracked him. We definitely tracked him. So he's lined him up for another shot. You see how he's aiming for the bush, but the shell should hit the enemy tank. That guy's trying to stop our tanks getting into the western pass. Okay, we're lined up and direct hit again. 141 that time. Now these 4.5-inch shells are capable of doing 450 alpha, 28mm pen, and 2.2 meters on the burst radius. It's the same howitzer you actually find on the BT-42, funnily enough, and on the Bishop in the game. But of course, in reality, the Bishop actually had a 25-pounder gun. Oh, he moved just in time. He knew that shell was inbound, so he quickly moved out the way to avoid it hitting him. Meanwhile, the M4A376 Wet is over on the other side. Now he's using that rock for cover, but this Burza is actually pushing forward, and that was a bad move because he's taken a hit for 125. He's being spotted by the guys up in the sniper's nest, and they're firing down on him. Just missed him there. I think that guy is going to die because the snipers will get him. And we're going to go for the M4A3 because he's trying to suppress the snipers. And now he's out of the game. So that's a second kill. Okay, we've got an OI here. Now he's letting this one dial in to get the shell over the building and onto the top of the OI itself. And that's a direct hit right on the roof. But we've been spotted and now we're being fired at by the VK3002M. And before that guy can get a second shot, he gets wiped out. You can see the shell actually landed on the front of the vehicle. He's going to have a go at that SU-100 down there, and no, that one bounced off. You can see it actually hit the mantlet, which is one of the toughest parts of the tank. But the second shot hit the engine deck and he's gone. So they've got another kill. Now he's looking at the Staghound who's managed to get behind him. But this guy is trying to hide from the guys up in the sniper's nest. But, yep, I'm afraid fingernail clipping's not going to allow him to do that. And now he's received a round. Now, he's probably tracked. But he's holding down his right-hand mouse button again to keep the aim on target. He fires in again and nobody's there. So, we're 2 up on the enemy now. They've got that Staghound there on that corner. He's hiding from our guys up in the sniper's nest. He's now decided to move away. It must have been too hot for him to stay there. And he's trying to get away. And in fact, he's trying to get away from the shells coming from a fingernail clipping. Because he knows if he stays there, he is going to get fried. Now, the SU-100, or an SU-100 of the enemy team, is right above him on the donut. And of course, we've got an M4 A1 FL10, that's the one with the French turret. They were actually made for the Egyptians, funnily enough. The M4s with the FL10 turret. Okay, can't get the shells over the lip, but the SU-100 might be able to lean over the lip and get a shot at us. And with his 100mm or 122mm shell, could wipe us out with one shot. Luckily, he goes down to our M4A1 FL10. And now there's only 4 enemies remaining. And they've got an M44 Super Chaffee, Hellcat, and that Staghound. There's the Super Chaffee. Up on the donut, facing off against the M4A1. We haven't really got a shot from this position at the moment. In fact, I think we would have to move a bit further over. Oh, wow, he managed to get a shot, even though I said he probably couldn't. He actually managed to get one in, but he's changed his angle now, and that should help improve his chances of getting a shot in. Okay, we think that the Hellcat's up the hill. In fact, he is. We're waiting for the reload to go in. Right on target, rounds out. He gets a splash and a big one for 109. Next shell could finish that guy off. He's holding it on target. And he gets a hit and kills him outright with the last shot there. Or next shot. There's only 3 enemies remaining, including the M44. And here comes the Super Chappie. Now, he probably doesn't realize we're directly below him to his left. But he's going straight for our M4A1 FL10. He slides into him to try and slide kill him and flips over. But now he's receiving fire from us and the FL. Go for it. Rounds out. Well, I think that tracked him again, or at least it may have damaged him. And the FL gets him. Only 1 enemy remaining. It's the Staghound. And he was last seen near the cliff edge. But in fact, now we know where he is. We can see him. Our Type 64 just spotted him. Well, it's in circumstances like that, like this, that the FV304 becomes a shotgunning tank destroyer, you might say, instead of an Arty. But the Avenger, player who's made the tank famous, really, for his play like a tank destroyer, would run around the battlefield and troll the enemy heavy tanks by getting below their guns, and they couldn't do anything about him, and just sit there blasting them in the side. Well, now he's got a target. Fingernail clipping's been spotted by the Stackhound. Now the Stackhound might try to come after him. In fact, yes, it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. And now would be a good time to go to third-person shotgun. Well, he gets a hit, but we're taking fire as well. The Stackhound, again, he's coming after us. We capped out to win, and he rams into us, but that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats. That was an ace tanker game for a fingernail clipping in the FV304. Very well played indeed. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 4 exactly. And he also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 22. He got a Starks medal for taking 2 enemy hits, losing 2/3 of his hit points, which he did, and also getting 2 kills and still being alive at the end of the game. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, and a high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, with a win ace of 8,589, which is super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there you go. Highest damage, 2,764. Second highest damage was the SU-100 up on the near the donut. He got 2,192. And the third highest damage, well, that goes to the 88 on our team, who got a steel wall and 2,093 hit points. When it came to kills, he's got the highest number of those as well. 4 kills went to a fingernail clipping, 3 kills went to the 88, 2 kills went to the M4A1 FL10, the Type 64, and on the enemy team, their T3485M. And when it came to base XP, he actually misses out on that one, though. He got 2 out of 3. The 88 got the highest base XP out of that one. 1,217 went to him. 1,139 went to a fingernail clipping. And 1,076 went to the M4A1 FL10. So they were the only 3 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the next one after that being only 766, and that's the Type 64. He fired 40 rounds in that game. Now, you don't get a whole lot of ammunition in the FV304, so that's pretty good going, actually, because it's over half the amount. 75 rounds you carry in total. He got 16 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 21 splash. Damage of 2,764, of which 1,192 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy, and both were penetrations. One of those you saw was the SU-100. The other one was the Stackhound, who also managed to get around into him. No, it wasn't the SU-100. It was the VK3002M. That was it. Shot down, managed to have enough gun depression to get a shot down from up on the donut into him. But of course, the Stackhound was actively trying to kill him right at the end of the game and failed to do so. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 4, and he got 461 hit points of damage assistance. On a free-to-play account, he actually made 90,159 credits profit, including 70,000 from mission completion, and he got 2,278 experience points out of that one as well. But it was a particularly good battle because he was in danger for a lot of that period because there was lots of enemy tanks up on the donut, and of course there was also that Stackhound who did manage to spot him and thought, yes, I've got an easy kill, I'll just go after the Arty, get rid of him before the battle ends, because he knew that the game was going to be over. But no, fingernail clipping wasn't going to allow him to get that. I would have actually locked onto the enemy tank at that close range. If you auto aim on, you're more than likely going to get them with one quick shot. And I can't remember if fingernail clipping did lock on right at the end, just as the Stackhound was coming in. And they were both in danger of dying because they could have rammed each other to death right at the very end. And of course, that might have taken away one of Fingernail Clipping's medals. He would have lost the Stark's medal if he had died. But no, he's managed to stay alive long enough to ensure that he got the medal. So let's have a look at the second replay in the FV304. The second battle is on the Pearl River map, and we're on the south spawn of the encounter bay. Well, as this is a short range Arty, you have to get closer to the enemy. If he wants to get shots on the enemy tanks coming up to the village, he would actually have to get closer, and this is probably the best position if you're in an FV304, even in a Bishop for that matter, to shoot at the enemy coming into the village itself. You can see that he has got the range to hit that entrance. He needs his teammates to spot it, but of course this is an encounter game as well, which means he has to get closer to the cap area. Now that G destroyer actually managed to get past the entrance. It's the Gabbler destroyer, I believe. He did get a direct hit, but it's a blind hit. And now he's going for this, I think it was a T1 Heavy, was it? Very difficult to see. Oh, it was a Striv. I was wrong. Okay, going for the G1R. Direct hit. Tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks in it. Rounds out in the KV. Direct hit. Oh, it's a target-rich environment here. The guy got tracked. And we're going for the engine deck. And another big hit. 137. He's still tracked. In fact, technically he's perma-tracked now, because of course, so long as he doesn't fix his gear, he's actually going to stay there. Oh, he managed to fix his tracks. You can see 2 marks now on the engine deck. Another hit on the engine bay. Looks like there's a nice little hole there now, but no, it's not a hole. But that's a kill shot. Okay, going to the G1R again. We've already hit that one. Okay, the G1R does have a lot of armor. It's quite a strong tank. It's a bit like the Shure B1 in terms of the strength of the armor. That one missed the Striv. The Striv's actually got fairly light armor by comparison. But there's a VK, and yes, he does have to pay attention to that one. Now, it looks like the enemy's managed to gain the village, and that means we're probably going to have to change position now to get towards the cap area. He's pulling back around this corner. The enemy's going to be poking around the corner to try and spot any tanks. That Strip 42, I think, is trying to have a look right now. Now, we've lost sight of him, but there is a T-34-85M nearby. We're waiting for that guy to spot them. There he is. RT firing in our direction. The enemy RT in this game is the AMX-13F3, and he's probably up the other end of the map. Now, the VK-30 did get tracked, and now he's out the game, so we can head towards the cap and try and lay some shells down inside that little cap area. He's going to try from this distance. Be much better off if he actually got very close. by very close, I mean that he'd be better off actually if he was somewhere in K1 or nearby, but he's certainly getting shells on these enemy tanks. This is a KV1SA. The box tank got the kill on him. And we're 3 up on the enemy now. I think they are in danger. That Basotto is being chased away. He's gone to behind the rock, and he does have support. A Leopard and a Jackson supposedly are behind him. But these shells are coming in near vertically on him. So he won't be able to maintain this position for long. That's a direct hit. In fact, it looked like it hit the engine deck. Okay, the Jackson suddenly appeared. Now, he might be out of range for us. He's a little further back. There's the Basotto, and you can see here, very badly damaged. One of the shells did hit him. There's the kill shot. There's the box tank that got the kill on the KV1SA. And this is what I was saying earlier about getting into that little corner. You can actually shoot at the enemy quite over the top, so they can't see you, but you're very close to them. But the enemy in the cap area, in the village, are now in a lot of danger because you can unload on them from here. Now he's probably a little too close to the Jackson now, but he's getting air. In fact, he damaged his tracks there as he went over there. Or did he? No, he didn't damage them. He actually got spotted. He went too high. They saw this Arty leaping up into the air. And in fact, it was the Jackson who saw him. And now the enemy Arty's trying to have a go at him. First shell doesn't do it. Yeah, the shells seem magnetically attracted to that rock. And the Jackson's just sitting there behind it. But he managed to get one in there, and it actually hit the mantlet. It's going for the top of the turret, but it's a very weak chance of actually hitting, because all you're seeing is a few, in fact about a meter of the tank. You can see the little dot is actually down by the rock. Oh, he got a miracle shot. He got an ammo rack there and took the guy out. That must have set off the shells that were in the turret, but that is a miracle shot because he was actually aiming for an area which was about a meter in size. Yep, trying to avoid leaping into the air. There's still 4 enemies out there. We're only 1 up on the enemy at the moment. He's still outside maximum range for that Leopard. But I think our T-78 is probably going to get a shot on him. And we're covered from the other angle from the village. Okay, Striv M42. He's decided to go after this guy. He has got a possible shot. Rounds out. Hits the buildings instead. Okay, so he's got a shot on that gap, but he needs to fire immediately. Just misses him, but gets some splash. And now we have been spotted by the Striv, I think. That Leopard's still in play as well. But the Striv has now come down to the ground level. And I think he's trying to flip a 360-degree no-scope in here and firing at the enemy. Oh, the Leopard goes down to the box tank. And now he's going to try and put one in on the Bosotto. Oh, he gets him. Now it's just the Striv and then the Arty. Striv M42 hiding behind that building. He's going to come out. Rounds out. Just missed him. Whoop, caught the rock. It spun him round and tracked him. It would literally rip the tracks off. Now, in theory, he could go after the enemy RT, try and find him and shotgun him. But the AMX13F3 AM is actually quite a good RT4 shotgunning in return. So he's actually decided it's probably better for him to cap, put some pressure on that Striv M42. And also, it might force the AMX13F3 to come after him. So he's busily hunting where the enemy might be. And he's found the AMX, but it wasn't him who found it. It's one of his teammates. Just a fraction of a second too late there on that shot. He's got to wait for the reload. If the guy stops, he might have a chance. He does a handbrake turn to get the gun to bear. And now he's actually got the stock gun. Yep, that's definitely the stock gun. And that is a kill shot. Whilst he's sitting in the cap, he takes out the enemy Arty. And here comes the Striv. And he gets taken out by the T78 to win the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for a fingernail clipping in the FV304. He managed to get a demolition expert because he blew up the Jackson. Yeah, that shell it went right in through the turret, and I think it hit the ammo that was stored in the turret and blew it to pieces, or at least that part of the ammo rack that's located in the turret. He also got the fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up getting 5, one short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. And he also got the Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 20 overall. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. And finally, he got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that one, 10,862. So he seems to be getting higher win rates every time he goes out. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see definitely the highest damage, 3,183. In fact, he's the only one who managed to get over 3,000 damage at all. In fact, none of the others managed to get over even 2,000 damage. So he was standing out from the others by the sheer amount of damage he did. Second on when it came to to kills, he actually got the highest number of those as well. 5 kills went to fingernail clipping. 4 kills went to the Striv M42 50s. No, it's not a 57. It's the 42. Yeah, on the enemy team, we got the Leather Slaves medal for those 4 kills, and that was the guy, the last one who was killed right at the end of the game. And 2 kills went to the T78, the Skoda T24, the box tank, and also to the VK3001P on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, yep, he caught that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,009 went to a fingernail clipping. 696 was the next highest score, and that was the T78. And then 670 went to the T3485. So he was very definitely the MVP in that game. He fired 38 rounds, so again, just over half his ammo. 17 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrating shots, and 24 splash. Damage of 3,183, of which 2,406 were at more than 300 meters. Now, if we do a quick look to see which ones he actually penetrated well, the AMX13F3, it was a direct hit. And of course, it is really an Arty with no armor, so to speak. It's just an AMX 13-ton tank with a very big howitzer on top of it. So yes, it was an easy pen, and he got that one. The next one he managed to pen, So I'm just going down this list trying to find the ones. Didn't pen any of the heavies, but yes, he definitely penned the Jackson. That was the one he Amaracked, and that one set that off. He didn't pen the Basotto or the KV1SA, but he did penetrate the Basotto of all of them. And I think that was the second shot that actually wiped the guy out. And he did penetrate as well the Gabler Destroyer, who went into the village earlier in the game. Anyway, going back to the detail, we can see he damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 5. So if he'd actually killed everything he touched, he would have got a Pools medal out of that. He got 42 capture points while he was sitting in the cap. And he also picked up 86,366 credits on a free-to-play account. That's very good going, including 65,000 for mission completion and 1,009 base XP. No multipliers on that one, so it wasn't the first game of the day, but it's very good scores if you think about the amount of credits he made on a free account. So yes, very well done indeed. So really 2 excellent games, and of course fingernail clipping has now become synonymous with the FV304, that he seems to get these great battles where he scores very, very highly indeed. Hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.